Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for some Stars and Stripes Cup Series racing action here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. As tonight, the driver is going to be tackling Charlotte Motor Speedway for 133 laps here tonight. And for the Stars and Stripes Cup Series presented by Sharp Apparel, they're ready to be making their late charge. We are coming to the end of this regular season, and for drivers that want to be inside of the top 12 in points, now's the time to be making their marks. And for us up at the booth, we're excited to give you all the coverage. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is Zach Hall with Robert Moyer Jr. running productions. And Zach, Charlotte, a little bit of a change up, kind of a mess up on the backhand. But we are going to be racing in the daytime, originally scheduled for nighttime. So Charlotte's going to be slightly different from what the drivers were practicing most of this week for.
Yeah, this is a big changeup. Charlotte is actually one of the most temperature-sensitive racetracks on all of the circuit, in my opinion. This asphalt here, for some reason, for whatever reason it reacts very much to temperature, and it changes how this place drives a lot. Right now, we're already looking at upwards of 124 degrees on the track temp, so I'll have to watch how that goes throughout the night. I could actually see it going up from this point with it only being 1 o'clock in sim time right now. So really, we could see those temperatures raising up, especially with the amount of cars out there as they go to hit qualifying. But a tough track here tonight with how hot it's going to be, Sam. Tire wear is going to be at a premium. But with only 5 races to go before the playoffs kick off, it's going to be an important one for these drivers to be able to get a handle on quickly.
Absolutely. Also, we're going to be seeing a little bit of a smaller field than usual. There's a lot of different factors coming into tonight. Real world, there's the duels going on. You've also got drivers that are trying to make it for the Road to Pro that is starting here tonight. And also the Daytona iRacing Daytona 500 is going on. So you've got 3 major factors. So we're going to be seeing a little bit of a smaller field for these drivers, but this is a bigger opportunity for those that are lacking in points to really capture themselves as qualifying underway. 3 minutes left to go. We're starting to see drivers topping the board, as right now it's going to be Travis Dart topping the board currently.
Yeah, just as we say that, the man that jumps straight to the top, Ken Campbell, from what we've seen, he's starting to get back into more of his mojo that he had to start the season as whole, as time started clicking more. Christopher Wade clicks at a time there. In second on the board is Cole Sacchetti. We've seen how fast he's been this season. Hasn't been able to get the finishes he deserved with the speed, but he takes the top of the board right now as Nate Lynch jumps up the second. I think those lap times around are going to be those quicker times here. So McCoy now up to the top.
Al McCoy going to be looking for topping the board at least, as see drivers getting into the wall. A little bit of just ending their time, as that was Travis Butt going to be parking it into the wall. And Travis Butt going to be 11th on the board currently after finishing his times. Here's Jason Gratton, a driver that qualified well last week, but was now going to be looking for a better finish, as Gratton had gotten the pole position last week at Rockingham, finishing up our 3-week stint of short track racing, but was not the finish of the race that the 46 was looking for.
No, it definitely was not. He's going to look to clean that up here at Charlotte. But this place is going to be tough, man. Like I said, with the track temperature being as high as it is, this is a slick surface. As the 44 of Kyle Bowling here, we're watching him put down time. And another great time being put down there is some really quick ones being turned there is Nick Holland to the second place on the board. And those 2 top times right now of a 30.26 and a 30.27 from Kyle McCoy and Nick Holland, really far out compared from the rest of the field. They must have really got the most out of that of their laps.
Across the line is going to be that of Jason Gratton. We'll see if the 46 can best his time on that second go, and it does not look like it for the 46. But for Nick Holland, who's second on the board currently, this 68 last season, they were running a different car, the Xfinity machine, but this was the racetrack that changed Nick Holland's season. It was the start of a 3-race win streak that the 68 had. We'll see if it can change his season once again of him getting into the playoffs, because Nick Holland's been kind of on the back end of some poor luck here for this season. As you see Dylan Glass currently on screen for that of the 42. First lap bumps him up to 8th on the board, but Zach, you said it, the second lap's in where all the speed's been at.
They get that momentum built up for that second lap, and from what I've seen, I rode on board with a few of these guys here in these qualifying laps they've been putting down, and they're not doing a full lift. They are cracking the throttle, letting it definitely breathe a little bit to try to make it around these corners as you're carrying a little too much speed, but definitely trying to carry as momentum as possible. We'll see if Dylan Glass goes any quicker there, and it looks like he'll go up to 8th on the board there.
And 8th on the board is where he will lie. Currently, a couple of drivers decided to still be in pit road, not going to be qualifying. His qualifying is coming to a conclusion. Those drivers going to be Steven Anderson, John Dart, Douglas Pierce, and that Dylan Grimm going to be the 4 drivers deciding not to come out for qualifying times. 23 did qualify, though, with a total of 27 going to be hitting the track here tonight. Zach, getting a lot smaller of a field from our usual 30 plus that we've been seeing for most of this season. Race number 11 here at Charlotte, again for the Stars and Stripes Cup Series presented by Sharp Apparel. Let's take a look here at where drivers are going to be qualifying as they're loading into the grid. We take a look at the pole position, going to be the number 7 of Kyle McCoy, going to be taking the pole spot with Nick Holland to his outside. Timmy McNally, who has won at a mile-and-a-half course this season at Chicagoland, the most recent mile-and-a-half track. We'll see him going to be in 3rd place with that of with Cole Sacchetti, Ken Campbell, as well as seeing that of Kyle Bowling, that of Nate Lynch, with that of Dylan Glass, that of Christopher Wade, Brian Lynch, going to be your top 10.
In the 11th position, it's our winner from Kentucky earlier in the season, Andrew Medlin. 12th position on his outside is going to be the 9 of Patrick Hasty. There in the next row, it's going to be Trey Jackson on the inside. Alongside him in the 14th position, it's going to be Travis Dart in the 209. 15th position, it's going to be Travis Butt, looking for a good night here in points to move him farther up from that cut line. And it's going to be 16th. It's going to be Scott Ricker, our points leader. 17th place is going to be Jason Gradden. 18th is going to go to Derek Hoffman. And 19th is going to go to Brian Burchett. And rounding out that top 20 is Chris Essery in the 10th position.
Then we find that of Mike Lynch and as well George Kovacic with that of Max Ward, John Zart, Ryan, that of Randy Cornwell, going to be actually our driver who's going to be running our race control for this evening. But Dylan Grimm, Steve Anderson, and Doug Pierce finishing out the 28 drivers, but 27 will be on track. That's if Doug Pierce can log in. Currently is not gridded up. But Zach, it's daytime. We've talked about the heat. The weather's going to be something to keep our eyes on. As we've taken a look here at the grid, for myself, I would be thinking for these drivers, they were expecting this to be a night race, and then they load into practice, and it's actually a day race. How did you think that this is going to be changing a lot of mindsets for these drivers, thinking that they're going to have a lot of grip to work with, to now it's going to be slick out there all day long?
Yeah, I think that mindset completely changes when you come out here now. You got to be thinking now tire wear is going to be at a premium. Anytime the track temperature is higher, you're going to see more degradation in those tires and the drop off and fall off of times. So we're going to see a little bit more fall off possibly here also tonight. So drivers got to keep care of those tires not only, but also they're going to have to make sure to stay out of trouble here tonight. It's going to be much easier to get that car upset and out of position and put yourself in a position where you could lose some points that you critically don't need to do here with 5 races to go in these before the playoffs kick off. It's going to be a critical night. If you had the thought that you had a lot of grip coming in here tonight, it's going to be a little bit of a change up with that, with how it is playing out here with the daytime weather, man. It's going to be exciting to see how it all works out as these drivers start to figure it out.
We'll see how they can attack. Again, we've ran already 3 mile-and-a-half courses, 3 different winners. Atlanta and race number 3 was won by that of Ken Campbell. Andrew Medlin won at race number 6 at Kentucky. And then race 7 at Chicagoland was won by Timmy McNally, which that race number 7, lots of drama on that one with McNally and Travis Butt making contact. And it was the 88 that survived to get himself a win. But here tonight at Charlotte, will we see a new mile-and-a-half winner? Could we see someone who's already won this season get another one? Or will we see a first-time winner in this Cup Series? We'll find out. Pace car is off. Green flag is up in the air as we get ready to go racing here for the Charlotte 200. We are green, and it's going to be that of Kyle McCoy. Nick Holland going to be your front 2, and already on the loud pedal, we're going to be seeing the 7 with the best launch, but everyone else side by side into turn number 1.
And Kyle McCoy, like you said, with the great start, able to pull a car length ahead. Nick Holland, though, fighting strong on the outside line, along with Timmy McNally. Like you said there, that controversial win he had, he's trying to maybe get himself a second win. As he's back 17th in points. He cannot let the points slip away too far, as he'll fall out of contention to use that race as a provisional to get into the playoffs.
So who's going to be the most patient? Tires is going to be a big factor to watch out for, as well as the draft, as we're seeing the side-by-side racing for second still lingering on with Timmy McNally and Nick Holland. But the question of who's going to be the most aggressive here in the first 5 laps to who's going to have the best long run, as there goes McNally into the wall hard for the 88, and there goes our first yellow, and the field goes scattering around him. Oh no, more drivers piling in. Grimm involved in others, and oh no, the 88 is spinning and tumbling. That other driver that was involved is going to be the 2 of Mike Lynch, going to be the first contact in the 88. And Zach, that is a worst case scenario for drivers that needed to have a good run.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right there. Dylan Grimm, first of all, he needs everything he possibly can out of this here tonight for points-wise. He's trying to stay above that that cut line. He's 9th in points, but with some drivers outside the cut line there with wins, it's hurting him. So big moment there, even for Timmy McNally, a winner there too.
We're going to take a look here. Again, these drivers do not have a fast repair. We're going to see the aftermath as you're going to be seeing that a Max Ward going to be in front in the 59 of the 23 and just no clue what's going on. And then just sees a driver there. Dylan Grimm trying to get on the brakes to avoid, but all he sees is smoke. And then, oh, there's the Skittles machine. And going flying is going to be that of Timmy McNally up in the air. And he went sky high and immediately came crumbling down. Heavy damage for that of the 88 machine. Dylan Grimm, as well as Mike Lynch and Timmy McNally, all have required damage. So they're going to be in pit road for quite a long time. And for us, this early yellow gives us time to take a quick break as see the 88 tumbling down and finishing off here. I mean, Zach, some of your final thoughts before we throw it to a commercial break.
Yeah, that's just a tough break for some drivers that do not need that type of luck to start these this race here. 5 to go. We'll see how it plays out for the rest of their time here tonight.
We'll be right back in just a few with Side by Side. Early caution here tonight for the Stars and Stripes Cup Series. Got to see Timmy McNally go airborne there in the 88, as well as seeing Dylan Grimm and Mike Lynch being involved in this one. The 88 has already parked it and has gone behind the scenes, but up front, it's going to be that of Kyle McCoy, that of Nick Holland, Ken Campbell, Cole Sketty, Nate Lynch, that of Kyle Bowling, Dylan Glass, as well as Christopher Wade, Andrew Medlin, and Brian Lynch going to be finishing out your top 10. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is Zach Hall. Road Mori running productions here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Excited to give you the rest of the racing here tonight. Again, this is race number 11 of the regular season. The playoffs right around the corner, so points are extremely important. First caution's already in. How many more are we going to see? We'll find out as the pace car gets ready to pull off. And that means it's time for us to see a little bit of green flag action as Kyle McCoy and Nick Holland get into the restart zone, and we are green here for the Charlotte 200. Once again, it's that of Kyle McCoy with the best launch out there with already a car length ahead of the 68.
Yeah, great launch, like you said there, from Kyle McCoy to get out front, but the battles ensue farther back here. That's Trey Jackson at 31 up top here, battling Jason Gratton here, coming out at 2. Looks like he'll slide in behind here as the field looks to solidify.
And you also saw there in the bottom of the graphic, Nick Holland aggressive for the lead, and already taking it is the 68. Gonna be making the charge past that of Kyle McCoy, and watch out. You can tell Ken Campbell wants to get up front. I mean, the last time we saw Ken Campbell get into victory lane was at a 1.5 course at Atlanta, which, I mean, slightly different here, Zach, but the weather conditions almost kind of favor the 15 on how these drivers are going to be having to move forward.
Oh, they very much do. He had a great night at Atlanta. Would not be surprised to be able to put something similar to that here into fruition. And right now, already, you can see in this top 3 position, Kyle McCoy, he's been stepping his game up this season. And, I mean, just a tough break last week for him. He dominated at Rockingham, comes up a little bit short, but here at Charlotte, he's looking to carry that momentum. And remember, those playoffs are looming. He was the Mr. Clutch last season. He just went superhero mode and just won almost every single race coming down to the end to win that championship. And he's gearing up for possibly that again here, as he's had a tough start this season, but it's all coming back around now as he's finding that speed.
And that's 7 of Kyle McCoy, won 4 out of the 5 playoff races to win that championship last season. Ken Campbell came away with no wins, but started off this season with 3 in a row to start the season off. And another driver that's figured out how to go 3 in a row, but it was last season. Nick Holland currently leading the way, but you could kind of tell the drivers that are being aggressive right now. But with my eyes, yes, up front, we're seeing the aggression from the 68, but it's this little pack that we're starting to see of drivers still slowly making their charge forward. You find at 0-5 is Scott Ricker going to be on the outside. Also that of Wade. Those are some drivers that are better on the long run. So wouldn't be surprised in about 5 to maybe even 10 laps, knocking on the door of our front 3.
Yeah, and I tell you, we got some big movers there around Scott Ricker there in that 8th position. You also got Travis Butt up top, following in a double zero machine. He's 15th up to 9th here. Scott Ricker there as he gets out to the outside of Nate Lynch there in the 25. He's now going to be traveling up into the 7th position from the 16th starting spot. So some big movers early to go. And what I'm seeing already, a common scenario we've seen for most races, this outside line is the dominant way to pass. You get to somebody's quarter panel, and it's almost a guaranteed position at that point.
Utilize the die draft while get into the quarter panel, and then you just get a great launch out of the corner that allows you to just pull away. You see that of Andrew Medlin, another driver that has won at a 1.5 course, but it was at Kentucky. A little different from Charlotte, but still a 1.5 course, and there's still going to be small things you can take away from Kentucky to bring it here to Charlotte.
Oh, for sure. That turn 1 and 2 complex at Kentucky, very similar to what you would see here in Charlotte. So that is something you can have some comparable notes to carry over from there. That turn 3 and 4 of Kentucky is a whole different beast, very flat corner in itself. So it kind of adds an outlier there. But, man, still a 1.5 is a great place for Andrew Medlin, as we've seen. And it was great to see him break through there at Kentucky. Jason Gratton here, hopping on board with him now. He used that pulsator last week, Sam, at Rockingham, and it all went upside down on lap 1 for him. He's hoping to have a bounce-back race here tonight with not the greatest, starting position, but, hey, he'll take that over starting on pole and being out of the race on the first lap.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for Jason Gratton is he's been having fabulous starts right now. We're going to be seeing here shortly on the outside the 23 of Dylan Grimm is just going to be puttering along, just trying to get every position possible. Before the 46, having great starts, but it's been the finishes that's been kind of lacking. His 2 best finishes was going to be that at Daytona to start the season off, and at Chicagoland the most recent mile and a half. So don't be surprised if we start to see the 46 moving forward. But another 40 machine, the 42 of Dylan Glass, another one of those drivers that shows quick speed in the first half of this race, but it's been the second half having the clutch factor. It's been hurting in the 42.
Yeah, he's had a lot of short run pace. We've seen early in these races go right to the the top 5 right around that region and have some good runs. But it seems like he said just to slip back farther and farther as the race goes on. That tire degradation, just kicks in for that 42. So right now, trying to hold on. He was trying to get into the top 5, but look at this, Travis Butt and Scott Rickard have been climbing through the field together. They were looking to probably split them there, but fortunately, for their sakes, they decided not to. Scott Rickard going to go around the outside of the 42 here. Looks like Travis Butt says, well, I'm going to try to follow you through here, Sky, as they're trying to pick up more and more spots here on each and every lap. Those two really flying.
Yeah, I mean, putting on the pressure. And I think with that early caution, the drivers that try to, maximize those cold tires on that first couple of laps, for some of them, it's not a lot of, tire degradation that we've seen in other racetracks, but certainly a lot is, oh no, Rickard into the wall, scraping it is the 0.5. That's been his biggest weakness so far this season, is getting right side damage. And once again, going to be getting it out of turn number 4 on lap 17.
Yeah, now you bring that up, Sam. That is a weakness, I would say it is. That damage he suffers early in races is what he's not been, able to come back from. One that comes right back to my mind is Kentucky. Very strong race car there, gets damaged, and from that point on, he is a top 5 car still able to compete, but just not able to go out there for the win. So we'll see what he can do here. Looking at the car, it's definitely got a slight little wrinkle in that right front fender, but it's not the worst I've seen. So hopefully his pit crew can do a good job of working that out. But up front, the battle is starting to ensue some more as McCoy trying to take it to Holland here on the bottom.
Side by side, it was almost side by side, 3 rows deep. Now it can only be our front 2. Nick Holland, Colin McCoy going to be side by side into the corner. Now Ken Campbell gets the better launch on the straightaway. The draft going to be a factor there. You can see the 7, the center of the corner off. That's where the strength is, but has to let off, or otherwise he'd be throwing the 15 into the outside wall.
Yeah, that would have put Ken Campbell right up into it, and right now he's working that outer groove, and like I said, that's just the dominant place to be. You get the draft up there. Sacchetti was thinking about it. He had it right on the quarter panel of McCoy, who has to lift big time there on the X's. You can see Sacchetti was just pulling that car back and making that thing really tight as he's going to slide up into line down in front of Christopher Wade. But big moment there for Kyle McCoy as he was just trying to go for the lead, and it shows you if you don't get the pass done on the bottom, you get stuck on that inside, you get trained backwards.
Yeah, hurting Scott Rickard, and also going to be seeing Travis Butt with the biggest advantage from that little bit of a gap. And now the 00 going to be up to 4th, trying to make a move. Sacchetti, a big bump to Ken Campbell, pushing the 15 a little bit higher than he would like to. But so far, holding strong. That could have been a bigger incident, especially with the force, the 29, put on the back bumper of the 15. Got to be a little bit concerned of Sacchetti's front bumper moving forward, but saw that right side damage. The 05, not really feeling any weakness. He's now side by side with Travis Butt, exiting turn number 4.
What a cool shot that is there at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as they come out of turn 4. Scott Rickard trying to take advantage of this line checking up here on the outside line, but just don't think that bottom groove is going to be able to be the place to get it done, as there goes McCoy around the outside to hold that position on Scott Rickard. But here, 21 laps into this race, at our top 10, really even all the way back, all the way back there to the top 10, about a second separating those top 10 drivers, and it's showing here. Even though 21 laps in, you would think the degradation would be so high they'd start to pull away from each other. No, sir, this package, you do not get away.
Top 10 within a second of one another. Top 13 all about within 2.5 seconds of one another. But it's the battling for second place. Ken Campbell, Sacchetti. Sacchetti was doing a little bit of, peekaboo with the field, which gave a scare to Travis Butt. But now we're going to see Travis Butt with the surge on the outside. That draft, you see Sacchetti, no help on the straightaways, but he has to dive so deep into these corners, which almost puts contact. They're rubbing on one another just slightly on the exit of the corner. Sacchetti, slight bump to the rear quarter panel, but they survive down the front stretch. That's
definitely a tight quarters racing there, if you can say it, off of turn 4. And Sacchetti's trying everything in his power to hold on to a position. He might be able to slide up in front of McCoy, but no, sir, no, he does not, as McCoy powers off the top. And look at that, Sacchetti now going to have Scott Rickard getting to the outside. He's going to want to try to get up here in front of Christopher Wade if he can, because if you get stuck there again, you're going to go back 2 more spots. Now able to stay there in that spot, but Wade right there behind cannot give up that quarter panel, as we've seen. That's how you get the passing done.
Christopher Witt, another one of those drivers of the mile-and-a-half courses that's trying to find a way to get to victory lane at these bigger courses. Finally cracked into victory lane last week at Rockingham, was the 53, but can he continue with this surge and this momentum? We'll find out as this race continues on, back in 7th place, but single filing out now, Zach. A little bit of a calmer state of racing as these drivers now are settling in, but you can just tell even further back, these are the drivers that are just on the tail end of this lead pack in the draft. Seeing that of Bowling as well as seeing that Glass side by side for 10th place.
Yeah, it's been great to see all these battles going on here. Like you said, it's starting to single file up front there a little bit, but these guys still right here on the tail end of this group here battling for position with Dylan Glass and Kyle Bowling there along for that top 10 position. But Holland's been able to hold the lead, but everybody who's took a chance to try to make the pass has gone backwards. Holland there tried to make the move going down into 3 up front. He could not get it done. He actually slides back a few spots here from the leader. I'm thinking back to a little bit, Sam. Travis Butt and King Camel, they had their incidents at Pocono on. I don't know if Travis Butt still feels like he's even from that.
I would not say that he would feel even at all, but you can tell Travis Butt, he wants in the early going to make this pass cleanly. Going to need a little bit more assistance from the 0-5 on the straightaway. Not able to do so, but falling in line is going to be Travis Butt. And through all this passing that's going on, really from second on back, big credit to Nick Holland, who was heavily pressured by McCoy. And 68 still holding strong, but you can tell the 00 is on the move and wants to make these passes. And if he's clear enough, he might be able to split between the 68 and the 15. Going to be trying to move high, but this is going to be given a great opportunity for Ken Campbell on the backstretch for a crossover move, but not enough speed. And they're going to stay in line for your top bout 5. It's side by side for 6th place, where he's finds Scott Rickard trying to figure out how to get by the 29 of Cole Sketty.
Well, I tell you what, that move from Travis Butt there on that 15 machine is now Kyle McCoy's even trying to do it for the 3rd position now on King Campbell. He gets it done, slides forward as Campbell seems to be sliding back here quickly as Sacchetti even sliding up. It's that outside groove. It's the place to be, but if you can't, if you're starting to struggle, that line starts to check up. The inside might be the place to go. Is now Sacchetti going to have the 05 of Scott Ricker there getting to the outside. He better hope he can get up before Nate Lynch can get there. Also, as you can see, it's just one of those races is you take a chance and don't get it done, you go backwards. As Travis Butt, though, he was one of the only drivers I've seen to be able to make that bottom move really work that well. Would not be surprised as he's going for the lead up front.
Up front, we move ahead. Nick Holland, who's defended well so far over the 7 of Kyle McCoy, but can he hold off the hard charger? Biggest mover of the night, Travis Butt, who's now in 2nd. Going to be trying another opportunity potentially into turn number 3, but we're also, as we're watching this battle for the lead, we're going to look at the weather as well, because Zach, you threw it out there. It was going to continue to get hotter and hotter, and the heat certainly is cranked up. It was 123 track temp when the race started. It's now up to 128. It is scorching hot there as the pass for the lead is on.
Pass for the lead is 3 wide for 4th behind there. Scott Ricker going around the outside of King Campbell with Spaghetti, and Holland hold on for the lead up front. This racing here has continued to be just great 30 laps into this run. These drivers, no give up on the battling for sure.
And, Zach, you've ran with this aero package for these top drivers, just always pack racing, hard to get away from one another. I mean, how frustrating can this be for the leader? And also, how much do you think for the drivers that are stuck in the middle of this pack, feeling slight frustration or feeling grateful that they're still attached?
I feel like a few of the pack for sure feel grateful. You wouldn't get this chance with many packages. It would be a lot more spread out and a lot more time to gain for themselves. But right now, the frustration, I would say, comes from being in the lead. You're so like Colin, you're feeling good out front. You got the clean air, but that draft is so strong. And from what we've seen, it's a big pivotal factor. As now we jump in car cam here with Andrew Medlin in the 12 machine, and look at him working his way in the back here, half of this top 10 in this 8th position, working that outside groove. But yeah, this package, man, it just shows back here all the way to 8th. Yeah, it's only one whole second back here, but they're still battling side by side, and Nick Holland not getting away, even though he's all single file.
And you saw that. I mean, watching the wheel next to the corner, Andrew Medlin really working it, and you could tell he got a little bit more scared as Wade was very close to his rear bumper, but in front of Andrew Medlin is still 3 drivers on top of one another. A little bit of bump drafting by that of Nate Lynch in front of the 12. And for the, watching Andrew Medlin, he's got his first win. It was back in Kentucky. He's trying to get his second win this season for the 12 machine. But in front of him is a driver that has won here already in the Truck Series, Nate Lynch. This might be one of his best opportunities to win this season, right in 7th place.
Yeah, and Nate has had a bunch of great mile-and-a-half speed runs. He's had a lot of pace this season. He's been right in the mix of these top 10 battles like this. And from what we've seen, you just need that one certain day and one certain track position move to go your way, and you could be right there battling for that win. So Nate Lynch definitely doing a great job here tonight, battling back here with Andrew Mellon, who will try to get that inside line to go, and Mellon going to put the side draft on him and try to pull him back.
Trying to do their best currently, and this is our front group of about that of 12 drivers, 12 to 13 drivers that are running in this pack. And I'm looking at the times of our leaders and who's putting down some fast laps. Driver that's on the move did not have a good qualifying, as we're seeing, Wade on the move, but driver back in 14th place, trying to battle for 13th. Chris Essery, he is one of the fastest drivers on track, but just a very poor qualifying that I'm wondering, can he be making any types of movement forward? Because once he gets past the 46 and others, there's a large gap where he's going to have to hope the draft can pull him even closer.
Yeah, this draft is an interesting thing. As you can see the lap times up there on the ticker and compare them throughout the field here, and it's very, very close throughout the whole entire field, just due to that draft. You have the disadvantage of falling behind the car and you lose the downforce on your nose, but you also have the advantage down the straightaways of breaking that air, creating less drag on that race car, and allowing it to go a higher speed behind the car on the straightaway. So it's one of those give and take things. You like the fact that you're able to suck up behind the driver, but when you go into the corner, that's why you see a lot of drivers try to take different lines. The only time you're going to see them try to not, follow is if they're trying to defend. If you feel like you can give up that position, you'll run in someone's dirty air. But if you have that space, a lot of times you're going to be looking for the clean areas. Now the battle again is ensued. McCoy, after dropping back, he's been able to get back up to the front here after battling his way forward. He's fighting strong with Nick Holland again.
And now on the front stretch, the reason why the 7 had the best opportunities, everyone followed Kyle McCoy on the straightaway, trying to give him the draft advantage into turn number 1, but still not able to make the pass the dirty air too strong. The 7 has to stay in lingering in 2nd place. This is some great knowledge, I think, for the drivers that are up front, showing track position. Way more important than I think a lot of drivers might have expected here at Charlotte, but these mile-and-a-halves and bigger courses, I mean, the draft is always going to be something to talk about, as well as the dirty air when you're entering these corners.
Yeah, you can see them all starting to single file out even more and more, and the pack is starting to thin out. We had about really a group of 13 to 14 there within 3 seconds. Now it's about 3 seconds back to that 12th position of Chris Essery. So really 11th on forward is that front pack of group with Kyle Bolin in the 44 machine. So everybody trying to gain time. And one of the drivers we're going to go in-car cam here again with is the 10 machine of Chris Essery. We'll see how he's trying to work his way forward. He started in that 20th spot. He's worked his way up to 12th now. He's had a lot of good runs this season, but he's going to have to gain a little bit of time there if he wants to catch up to that draft of that pack ahead.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. He's got such a large gap. Over a second and a half is the difference between where this 10 is to the 44 and 11 currently. As in front of them, Incident and going to be the 00 going into pit road, it looks like, for himself. Came into pit road. I mean, this is going to be a big change up for the 00 on coming in on lap 40, but this is around the time that some drivers were thinking about coming into pit road.
Yeah, this definitely was right around that time of when I figured maybe someone would go with a this is the aggressive side of the pit number, I'd say. So this is definitely in that window, but definitely aggressive. And talking about aggressive, we seen right there Chris Essery while we were on board with him. He got into the wall, into the outside wall here, coming off a 4, and these tires starting to feel the brunt of this 128-degree track racetrack.
Up front, still that of Nick Cullen, Kyle McCoy, and Cole Sacchetti going to be your front 3. For Cole Sacchetti, massive, great run for himself up to 3rd at this point of the race, because usually he falls off the longer the run goes on with burning up those tires too soon and puts him back in trouble. Then about a full second back almost is when we find Ken Campbell, then of Andrew Medlin, this pack that we're looking on screen. This group of drivers, I mean, there's some heavy hitters of that of Campbell, Medlin, Rickard and as well that of Wade trying to make any moves to go forward, but I think those pit stops going to be the biggest factor to watch out for because right now, Zach, this field over 2 seconds, almost 2.5 seconds slower than their fastest time of the day.
Yeah, this is where we're starting to see the big amounts of tire wear, and this is the most spread out we've seen. I mean, our top three, like you said, they pretty much broken away almost from King Campbell there. Sacchetti actually trying to take that second spot from Kyle McCoy now and show the pace that we've seen he's had this season, just hasn't had the finishes to go along with it. But I think the tire wear is finally starting to show, and if you're someone like Nick Holland, this is nice for him. He's had clean air this whole time. When you're following behind these other race cars, your downforce is lost. Those front tires are slipping and sliding on the racetrack. You're building air pressure and building temperature in those front tires that is only going to end up to those front tires being worn out. So very tough condition to follow behind, but Nick Holland's had the beauty of being able to do it by himself as McCoy. He hits pit road in the 7, a couple laps later than his teammate, but I think this is in a much better position than the more aggressive position of Travis Butt.
Yeah, I mean, right now the 7 coming in, Travis Butt, who has been running kind of by himself, a little bit of draft help here or there, but with the fresh tires has been running about 2 seconds faster than our leaders just with fresh tires and not really utilizing the draft to its fullest potential. As you see the 7 going to be getting in pit road, taking tires, fuel, getting ready to go battling because up front, this is for the lead. Cole Sacchetti to the inside on the straightaway, and with no draft help for the 68 on the straightaways and on the backstretch, this is the best time for Skeddy to make this pass.
Oh, this is the moment he needs as he slides up the racetrack. That's definitely what he does. Is Holland. What a save between those two. He keeps it straight. This is going to check both of them up here down the back straightaway. Nick Holland, though, he's got to have the good hands award there, man.
Well, you went from having over a 1.5 second lead over third place to now it's gone. It's half a second and less because they both had to slow down. Nick Holland, congratulations on the save, but that time is now lost, and the field is now grown even bigger for this lead pack because that slide, Zach, especially this late in of a run, that tire wear is going to be hurting him even more than that damage potentially.
Oh, for sure. That tire wear can just slide those tires. I mean, if you're feeling a little bit tight, maybe that condition of heating those rear tires up will help that balance a little bit and shift it, to the rear a little bit, sliding a little bit, because I've seen a lot of guys struggle. It seems like on the exit of these corners is now King Campbell also elects to hit pit road. But you want to see the difference on tires, I think you're going to see it here in a few seconds as Nate Lynch will ride on board with him. Right directly behind him is going to be the 00 Travis Butt, the first driver to hit pit road there on lap 40. And he's going to be flying through on these 4 sets of tires here just to show the speed right up the inside here. So they're going to be coming off a 2.
Yeah, watching him just flying down the straightaway. The draft at least helping on the straightaways, but it's on the entry of the corner as we ride on board with the 25. Watch the inside. There he goes like a rocket ship. Goes 2 for 1, might even go 3 for 1 through these corners. And Travis Butt, who had pitted again, now back on the lead lap, hoping to have a big enough advantage to keep on leading, but right now going to be having himself 7-lap older tires. It's Ken Campbell out of pit road, as well as Jason Gratton, Chris Essery now into pit road. This lap's going to be Brian Lynch. Watch out for some of these other front runners as they're trying to make the call that they're coming into pit road this time by, as it was side by side for a second there. But everyone's starting to file in line, expecting pit stops for our front 5.
Yeah, and this is an interesting time where they're stretching a little bit farther than you would for the 2-stop here. Most drivers, like Kyle McCoy there, I figured it would be right around that 44 to 45 mark. But these guys are just trying to stretch the fuel tank, maybe do a little bit longer of a stop here, do shorter stops on these last ones. But, man, here comes Kyle McCoy, like I said, on those Ducey tires. He's going around the outside of Sacchetti. He's got to cut through the middle here between Holland, and it just shows how much time is being lost to these drivers right now. And remember that big slide, about a second time lost there? Kyle McCoy was with them when they were a second ahead, so that's only time gained for Kyle McCoy at the end of this. Here comes Cole Sacchetti, though.
Cole Sacchetti now into pit road, following suit. Could be some other drivers, as the 9 going to be extremely slow after some contact between himself, Ken Campbell. But up front, Nick Holland, all those drivers, they're hoping for the best, but it's going to be just side-by-side. Andrew Medlin, Glass, they're slowing down. They're woeing on Wade. And this is for both these drivers, they need to get in line so they don't lose as much ground for themselves. But watching the drivers that have already come to pit road, Travis Butt would cycle to be our leader, but that could be changing in just about 3 laps because Kyle McCoy is on the move to take that position as we're still watching this battling here for that of 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Yeah, this is it's great battling for us up here in the booth, but like you said, Sam, it's slowing them down a little bit, and that's something they don't want to see as we jump back here. This is Derek Hoffman here, 18th up to 5th now for that number 20 machine. He's about 7 seconds behind our leader Nick Holland here, but an interesting strategy here. He's going to be stretching a little bit longer. We usually do see Derek Hoffman, you know, stretch it a little bit longer than most drivers do, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him take it possibly to the end of that fuel tank. As we got drivers hitting pit road, looks like Dylan Glass coming down here in the 42 machine.
Glass is going to be woed up and into pit road. We'll see if Offerman's going to be able to do that. But because most of the field is now on fresher tires, this is going to be putting some of the drivers that are stretching out as far as they can go into precarious spots. But this is the pass for what's going to become the lead once pit cycle goes through. There goes Kyle McCoy on the inside of Travis Butt. There they go. On track officially. That was only for 11th place. But again, when the pit cycle goes all the way through, it's going to be Kyle McCoy with the lead.
Yeah, this is going to end up being a pretty big gap for Kyle McCoy once this all cycles through, I believe. Cole Sacchetti, the driver that was really around him when they were battling when he hit pit road, while Kyle McCoy here going into 3 and 4, Sacchetti only going into 1. So definitely a huge gap being the difference, and that shows you what tires can do. And the strategy is going to be so critical. And it's interesting to see a few of these guys stretching it farther. I mean, you know, they're not going to be able to one-stop this thing. That is too far out of the realm to do. So right now, you know, they're just losing time in the end of this thing, but it's a tough call, though, from my side of the standpoint.
Leader into pit road, Nick Holland going to be coming in, gifting the lead to that Andrew Medlin and also Christopher Wade. They're going to be still lined up with one another. But now where the laps are ticking away, we still have about 8 more drivers that have to come into pit road. Andrew Medlin, Chris Wade, as well as Derek Offerman, Patrick Hasty, Max Ward, Travis Dart, John Dart, and also that of George Kovacic. All still need to come into pit road, as this is the battling for the lead currently on track. But both these drivers, pit road is going to be necessary, and it's going to be Medlin backing out and going to pit road.
Yeah, great battle between those two. It was slowing them down a little bit here before the pit stops, but Medlin here stretching it to lap 54 here. And you're going to see Christopher Wade. He's going to go on for 55. So along with Derek Offerman and Patrick Hasty, they're also in the 9 machine. Looks like Max Ward also, John Dart, and looks like George Kovacic too. So now 7 cars still yet to hit pit road. We'll see when Christopher Wade flinches. But right now he's got about a 6.2 gap back to Derek Offerman.
And also for that of Nick Holland, I mean, he was leading and had such a large, ability of having that fresh air, staying in front of everyone else. That factor of fresh air now for Nick Holland is gone. I'm very concerned for the 68 on how lap traffic's going to hold him back, as Max Ward's going to be the next driver into pit road, leaving us with 6 that still need to come in. Again, that is our leader currently of Christopher Wade, Derek Offerman, Patrick Hasty, Travis Dart, John Dart, and George Kovacic that we wait to come into pit road as we're on lap 56. This is kind of 6 laps later than I would imagine a lot of these drivers coming to the pit road, but Zach, I mean, if you're stretching it out this far, you must be thinking about trying to turn this race into a one-stop.
Yeah, I mean, it's with a 90% fuel load, I'm surprised they are still able to go this long. I mean, 57 laps, Charlotte, you're normally able to stretch it around that 60 mark with a full tank, So I'm thinking they got to be coming soon. But if you're going to be able to stretch it to that 133, you're going to have to go so far. I mean, you're going to have to go all the way to at least 67, 68. I don't see that being able to be done here tonight. But, hey, man, I've seen crazier things. Maybe these guys have got something figured out, because Wade is really, really slowing off the pace. But, man, he's trying to stretch it here for sure.
He's slowing off the pace, but Zach, remember, we did have the first caution that came out extremely early where drivers were able to save fuel under that pacing of caution. As we do officially want to give marks of that at Timmy McNally and that Dylan Grin, both are officially out of this race, leaving us with 24 drivers on track. Currently only that of 17 on the lead lap for now until we see Wade coming to pit road, but Christopher Wade now is being trapped, it seems like, on the outside lap after lap. So he's going to have to be very vocal, say, I'm coming into pit road, as Nick Holland now unlaps himself and is on the move.
Yeah, with the addition of this caution lap, that's a great point, man. That with those, I think the stretch, they possibly could maybe stretch it here, maybe 60, 62. But I still don't see that number that he needs to be able to make, and especially for that second part of the race. But, I mean, if you can make it at least close enough, get a caution, you should be far enough ahead. So maybe that's what Christopher Wade is playing out here along with Derek Hoffman and Patrick Hasty. None of these guys flinching even yet to come down the pit road. I haven't seen none of them ducking low. So right now, top 5 still have yet to pit. But the crazy thing about this is Kyle McCoy, he's crossing the start-finish line right now while Wade is coming out of 2. Kyle McCoy is going to be really far ahead once this all cycles through.
Going to be John Dart over the radio saying he'll be coming into pit road. Also sounds like Travis Dart's going to be over the radio saying he's coming into pit road. So we're starting to see the rest of the drivers that need to pit trickling in when they need to come into pit road, which Travis Butt, he's also going to be thinking about pit road in just 20 laps for seeing that. Seeing some of these drivers in the 00 going to be one of the factors there, as also Derek Offerman into pit road. 3 drivers of the 6 decide it is time. Offerman, Travis Dart, and John Dart all into pit road as we still watch on board Christopher Wade, Patrick Hasty in second, and also that of George Kovacic, going to be the 3 drivers that have not pitted this race. But right now, it is the 53 still leading as the 7 is now up to 3rd.
Yeah, at this point, they got to be hoping for some type of caution here. Kyle McCoy so far up here in time-wise right here is only 10 seconds behind Christopher Wade, which Christopher Wade will be able to use the advantage of new tires when he comes down to build that gap back up on Kyle McCoy. But like you said, those pit stops for Kyle McCoy and Travis Butt not too far away. Travis Butt, like you said, within 20 laps, he may be coming down as early as lap 80. Then you're going to be probably looking at the around lap 90 to 88 for this number 7 machine. Is now Christopher Wade here on lap 62. He's going to come down to pit road from the lead.
Well, with him coming in this time, he is going to need at least a caution. Patrick Hasty as well showing signs to come into pit road. We'll see if George Kovacic is going to have to come in, as it's now Kyle McCoy with the lead over 3 seconds over Travis Butt. And then you got Scott Rickard, who's going to be about 4.5 seconds back from the 7. And what's crazy is that for Scott Rickard and Kyle McCoy, they pitted just 1 lap difference, but that is still a major gap between the 7 and the 05.
Oh, a gigantic one. I mean, Kyle McCoy must have did a fabulous job getting into pit road and out of pit road compared to that 05, who right now, like you said, 5 seconds back. And if you look all the way back to Nick Holland there in the 12th spot, he is 13.9 seconds back from the lead. And I mean, that right there just puts in the factor how much tires matter. Now they're going to be gaining time along with Cole Sacchetti there. He's 8.7 back in 7th position. They're going to be gaining time through this whole process. But those pit stops are looming pretty soon already for the 7. If they can get there and if at least Kyle McCoy can get to lap 88 in the lead, he sets himself up for being in the lead pretty much when we end this race too, because it's pretty much that exact same distance to the end. So looking good for that 7 machine.
All on the timing. Some like to pit sooner, like Travis Butt. Some like to stretch it as far as they can go, like George Kovacic. But the drivers that find that sweet medium, find that Goldilocks spot, they're usually the ones that find victory lane. But for Kyle McCoy, he's trapped between drivers that are wicked fast and those that are still pretty slow, as the 7 gets a little bit of the traffic in front of him moving faster. For us, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more hard racing here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Green flag pit stops are done, but the question of who and when will come in next, we'll see in just a few. We'll be back in just a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from side-by-side action. As you see, this is Chris Essery on screen. You're watching the Stars and Stripes Cup Series presented by Sharp Apparel for the Charlotte 200 here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. A lot of drivers have been shuffling back and forth on trying to see where they're going to be placed, as really it's been a lot of green flag racing after our first caution and the first couple of laps that took out that of Timmy McNally, Dylan Grimm, and Mike Lynch. But since then, we've been clean green, had our first green flag pit stops, getting prepared for our second stint of green flag pit stops. We'll see who's going to come in first. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is Zach Hall. Also, Robert Moore running the productions. And Zach, we've been watching these drivers during commercial break, and really for a lot of them, it's been pretty patient on where to place yourself. But the drama has been where our leader is in the middle of the field, because for our leader, he's been hounded by a lap driver that cannot get away with him. The 99 of Steve Anderson has been a hazard for our leader.
Yeah, he's been trying to get around Kyle McCoy now for multiple laps on fresher tires, just has not been able to get it done. So it's been a lot of side-by-side close action between those two. Is now Travis Darton to 209 here. He's in the 20th spot. He goes by Steve Anderson to take that 19th position. He's going to go around Kyle McCoy here on the outside of the exit 04. We'll see if Anderson can follow him through, but looks like he won't be close enough to do it. But yeah, Kyle McCoy there has definitely had the 99 in his mirror for a while now, and that's got to be a little nerve-wracking. But the big thing I look at here, Sam, for him is this strategy has been excellent, man. It is a really, really good one, because he's nearing very close to the window where he could pit again, and he's still 6.3 seconds ahead of Cole Sketty, who the driver who was battling when he pitted, and then Nick Holland, he's a whole 8.4 back in 8th position, and really Sketty, he's only running about 2 to 3 tenths quicker, so the times are not really even there for them to catch him in time for these pit stops. Kyle McCoy, A+ strategy.
Yeah, the plateauing, the equalization of these tires certainly is kicking in. That's why a lot of this shuffling has been happening, as drivers have been watching a little bit of blinking going on, but we could see our last laps have been put down for these drivers on our ticker. And you can see, for our leader of Kyle McCoy, he's been running well with the pressure around him. Luckily he's been holding off over that of Travis Butt, but you can tell here, Zach, Ken Campbell's got a lot of speed, but he's 4.5 seconds back. Cole Sacchetti is running faster than our leader. Nick Holland's running faster. Also, that of Nate Lynch has been running faster than our leader, but they're so far back, it's going to be so much work for them to get back into the mix for the battle for the lead.
Yeah, even the amount that they're faster is just, like you said, it's not enough for them to gain. So it's looking good for this 7 machine. It's lap 77 here. We'll be completing for 7, so you never know. For him, it may be one of those races where he can finally, get that second victory. It's been eluding him here for the past few races. He's had some dominant performances, just haven't been able to close them out. As we look back, this Sacchetti, you got to remember, he was battling there with Kyle McCoy when McCoy hit pit road. So he's a driver driving up on Scott Rickard, King Campbell with some fresher tires here and some speed. But the thing about it is, like you said, the plateauing of the tires here, he's going to get here, and it's going to be tough for him to get through.
Yeah, these 5 drivers, Travis Butt, Ken Campbell, Scott Rickard, Cole Sacchetti in the 29, and also the 25 and Nate Lynch, they're all here within half a second of one another, but this is second back to 6th, and then they have to go full 4 seconds ahead before you find our leader. So they're all 5 of these drivers wanting to, those who have the fresh tires want to start moving forward, but that plateau is hit now, and everyone's able to really truly defend for whatever position they're in, which is now causing that of Nick Holland, who's on the freshest of tires of this front group, starting to gain in just slightly, but the draft help from Dylan Glass really isn't there. They are not closing in the ground like they would hope to. It's only 7 seconds back from our leader is that of Nick Holland compared to that of Kyle McCoy. But got to give huge credit to Nick Holland, who at one point was over 3 seconds back from our leader.
Yeah, definitely. And you got to give credit even to Travis Butt. He's in 2nd spot right now. It's lap 80. He pitted lap 40. And that right there, these tires are technically have more green flag laps than the tires that he had when he pitted there on lap 40 due to that caution. So Travis Butt's done a great job also to utilize that strategy. So the 2 teammates there from Cyclone Racing, they've used that early undercut to their advantage. And right now, first position, 1st and 2nd, and ever since Campbell's got there, he has not been able to get around him. Travis Butt has been able to hold that position off. The tires have evened out, like we said, and he is here to hold position. When does he come down will be the question I see. But, man, he can look to stretch it here farther this time to help his position for the end of this race.
Yeah, I might think about around lap 90 to 95 could be the window for a lot of these drivers that decided to come into pit road in the sooner fashion for that of Travis Butt and others. But for others, they might be thinking around 100, have just a 30-lap stint where they could just go full send, don't have to worry about saving their tires. Could be the thought for some. I know that, when we were seeing some of the other drivers that were staying out as long as possible, they might be in a spot where thinking about possibly hitting with 20 laps to go. But at that point, when you stay out that long, you need to make sure you've got enough time to run down all that time that you've given away if you continue to stay out. As is battling for that a second, third, fourth, and fifth continues to linger on as the 0-5. Scott Rickard, I believe he had brushed the wall for the 0-5, and he is losing ground, losing the draft, and has now went from a 5-horse race to a 4-horse race for second place.
And that has Scott Rickard dropping back very quickly there into the clutches of Nick Holland in the 68 machine. But now, like you said, a 4-horse race. Nate Lynch, though, we talked about it. This could be possibly the spot he gets the victory. He's had a win here before in this series. And right now, he's closing down. He's in the top 5. He's on the outside of Cole Scetti here, battling for this position. What a drive it's been for Nate Lynch. This could be the night here. If he can get some luck on his side, he is gaining track position as we go.
Yeah, and I'm watching our leader while we're watching this on screen. Steve Anderson still has not been able to get by Kyle McCoy, and they've been side by side for quite a while. McCoy actually just had to jam on the brakes to let the 99 go, which at this point is now putting even more lap drivers around the 7. Kyle McCoy went from feeling so confident with over a 4.5 second lead. He's lost the full second because of all the shenanigans with lap traffic. We'll see if lap traffic continues to hold the 7 back.
Yeah, there goes Grimm in the 23, who needs every point he can here tonight with that early incident there with no front end. Yeah, and McCoy, look, he's gaining right back up to Anderson, but yeah, this is not what McCoy wants to see. He does not need to be losing time in this critical phase of the race here. They are closing it down behind him, and I mean, a 33.20 last time to Travis Butt's 32.83. I mean, you're looking at 4 tenths up to almost a half a second there loss. And again, that time by right there, another tenth taken out of it. So Kyle McCoy here has got to be saying, man, I need a better spot on this racetrack. He may be looking to come down definitely on lap 88 to keep that same type of strategy of 44.
Yeah, but that's the thing right there. There's still a lot of time to, work with this. You've got 3 seconds to work with. As long as Kyle McCoy comes into pit road and either waits 6 laps or comes in 6 laps sooner than the drivers behind him, he's going to be able to build this lead back up or gain and catch up to where the lead was for that of Kyle McCoy. Because with running the differences, again, these drivers are going to be about a second to 2 seconds faster once they get 4 tires and fuel. With Kyle McCoy where he is, he can give up a lap or 2 and have that advantage still, even with the drivers catching up with him with that undercut pit stop.
You're very right about that, Sam. He does have that ability to let them try to close it down. And even that time by right there, he was quicker. He gained 2 tenths on him the last time by. This time here, we'll see what it equates to. Is King Campbell was able to get by Travis Butt, now get up to second. And lost a little bit of time to King Campbell there, only a 10th. But again, like you said, with a 3.9 second gap here, it's lap 88. He pitted on 44, so it's back to that point. He can stretch it, though, farther here, like you said. Same with Travis Butt, who pitted on 40. He stretched it another extra 8 laps here already. So wouldn't be surprised to see his teammate elect to do the same thing, to have the fresher tires coming down to the end. This is pretty much the catbird seat, as they would call it, for a driver sitting out front.
Yeah, for Kyle McCoy, yes, he can hit now and be on the same strategy, but he can wait. That is what the best thing about this strategy for the 7 is. He is not forced to come into pit road first. It's everyone that's behind him. I mean, Ken Campbell, Travis Butt, Nate Lynch, I mean, they have to come in, and Cole Scetti, they're going to have to think about coming into pit road here in the next lap or 2 just to get an advantage and try to gain all this time back and have a lead over the 7. But we're now going to fall back to the battling that's going back for 3rd place because Travis Butt is heading to pit road.
Yeah, he's elected to do it. He stretches it almost an extra 10 laps here in the 00. He's had enough, though. He's seen the fall off is starting to kick in his tires, and he needs to get down to pit road here. So we're watching Sacchetti in the 29. That's Nate Lynch there, battling for that third position. The driver behind them, though, Nick Holland. I mean, you got to be feeling for that guy. Was led most of this race. Looks like he waited way too long to pit in that first stop, and he's still 5.5 back from the lead, and I still a second and a half back from the group ahead. This time, though, he decides to do the opposite. He does the early stop. Nick Holland coming down along with Scott Rickard.
And Kyle McCoy into pit road, giving up the lead, not waiting for Ken Campbell, Nate Lynch, or Cole Sacchetti come in. Once he saw the 00 coming to pit road, decided to make the charge. He's in, and now at this point, Ken Campbell, Nate Lynch, Cole Sacchetti, they're forced really to either come in this time or next time, or they're going to be having too much ground to try to come back up. Cole Sacchetti aggressive into the corner, but here comes the 15 and also the 29 into pit road.
Yeah, I think that is the right call. As Cole Sacchetti goes around the bad luck, strikes again for the 29 machine. Cole Sacchetti was sitting in a great spot, slides around coming down the pit road. He's got to get it back going. Luckily for his sake, doesn't like the front end's too badly damaged there, but man, big mistakes here on pit road, just showing that you can lose it down here when you come down to pit road. And I said perfect timing for the stop, especially for Ken Campbell and Cole, but now Cole Sacchetti gonna be set back.
We've be seeing Andrew Medlin hit second place as the 7 come out and going to be making the move moving forward. Nate Lynch now into pit road as Medlin's going to stay out another lap here for himself. Then you've also got Christopher Wade, who came into pit road. You can still stretch it out there for another, you could say 20 or so laps for the 53, which for these drivers that are going to be staying out, such as Medlin, Wade, they're banking on a yellow to come out. This is their only strategy to get a better finish and get a net gain here tonight. So this is now the waiting game for Medlin and Wade.
Oh, for sure. They put themselves in a completely different spot than anybody else, and we gotta stay there now. This is if they give in to the other strategy right now, they're just gonna take their losses from what they did before. So right now, like you said, it's gonna end up to having to be a caution to help these two out. But I tell you what, everybody learned from that first stop, Sam. I think they learned that undercut was way more powerful than they thought. And everybody said they saw Kyle McCoy and Travis Butt coming down pit road. They didn't wait too much longer after that.
No, not at all. As there goes Butt to the inside, going to be unlapping himself. And for Travis Butt, because of how long it took him to get around, even coming into pit road a lap sooner than the 7, going to be still over 4.5 seconds back from Kyle McCoy as Jason Gratton's into pit road. But Kyle McCoy's strategy call has worked out fabulously. But Zach, there's always that looming question above everyone's head, because it was coined, last season, the Robert Moyer 20 laps, because Robert always would call 20 laps to go and a yellow would come out. Will it come out again here at Charlotte? Because Charlotte was a extremely enjoyable races. Oh boy, the 12 locking up the brakes there, Zach, into pit road.
Yeah, big lockup there from Medlin. Looks like he's not going to take it as far as we possibly thought he would. So he's going to like to come down here and kind of split what he did before. But yeah, that yellow flag looms, man. I mean, if you're Christopher Wade, I think that's what's in the back of his mind, Sam. He knows it's a common occurrence here where it just seems to be that late race yellow that always kicks in. These guys go green for majority of the race, and then it's some little incident comes up and it brings out a yellow. And it's usually due to so many differing strategies on the track, and we're having a lot of differing strategies play out right now. This very well, like you said, could end up being that Robert Moyer 20 to go type of situation. But right now, Christopher Wade, he's going to have to hope for that.
Wade is out, but I went back, rewatched the pit entry because it looked so odd from when we saw the 12 come in. There was a lot of smoke and rear end damage to the 12. Because the 12 was coming in, did not notify that Medlin was coming into pit road, had to do a swerving motion to get out of the way of Nick Holland, but could not get out of the way, get rear-ended by Ken Campbell. Campbell's got some front-end damage, but for Nick Holland, he's now on the move, but Campbell's got to be frustrated getting front left damage for the 15.
Yeah, and Medlin even hits the inside wall too after hitting the outside wall. So yeah, that's a big mistake there coming down the pit road. And yeah, that's some major right front damage there for Ken Campbell. He's just going to have to try to baby that thing home. He's going to have a tough time. As you can see Scott Rickard there he's got by him and kind of starting to pull away. So any little bit of damage. I mean, Scott Rickard, we've seen he's been the beneficiary of getting damaged some of these races and falling back. It's seemed like that's kicking into Ken Campbell here with that damage from that 12 machine.
Well, as we're coming up to lap 100, going to be 34 laps to go, gives us an opportunity to talk about some of our amazing sponsors, as now the front runners are in a waiting game for whenever a caution might come out or when they'll come into pit road. As you see the battling going on between that of Scott Rickard and Ken Campbell, this is for 8th place. But first, you got to give big thanks to Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing if you're looking to get yourself a game or two to feel instead of just hear sounds. You'll get yourself a game or two with the promo code FreakyFast20. Get yourself 20% off of a purchase at Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing, and as well, those at that Advanced Sim Racing. Use the promo code FreakyFast5 to get 5% off, as it is one of the best places to go to get yourself a sim chassis, finish off or even start your sim rig. Advanced Sim Racing. They started back in 2020. They've been one of the fastest growing North American sim racing hubs to go to. Again, if you'd like 5% off, use the promo code FreakyFast5. Thank you to our two primary sponsors here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. As it's 33 laps to go, it's all that of Christopher Wade, Derek Offerman, Kyle McCoy, Patrick Hasty, Travis Dart, Travis Butt, Nick Holland, Scott Rickard, Ken Campbell, and Dylan Glass, your top 10 currently, but there's a good mixture, Zach, of drivers that still need to come into pit road.
Oh, yeah, the mixture is definitely up. Strategies have been all over the place so far, but Kyle McCoy, the one we said has got the A-plus strategy so far, he's right now worked his way finally back to the second position. He's 10 seconds back on Christopher Wade here. Wade will settle out to see when he finally elects to come down. But if you're Kyle McCoy here, he's got about a 6 second lead. Sorry, back to his teammate Travis Butt, and along with Nick Holland. So, man, he's got to be feeling good looking that far back, and knowing King Campbell, also one of his main competitors, probably got notified that he got damaged. I mean, I'd imagine from his teammate Travis Butt. So, you know, there's a big possibility that right now Kyle McCoy has got this thing in cruise control, and he's going to try to run this race out and try to stay as safe as possible, because he knows at any moment, if a caution looms, he's going to have to be ready to go at any point to defend this race.
Yeah, and the battling currently on track for positions. Going to be back in 5th place as Travis Butt and Nick Holland both have been able to get by that of Travis Dart as the 209. One of the drivers that has to come into pit road. Same for Patrick Hasty in 4th. Derek Offerman in 3rd needs to come into pit road. And also our leader currently of Christopher Wade. Those drivers expected to come in. They could stretch it out for another 10 to 20 laps if they really are stretching it as far as they can go. But that's going to be a little bit of a stretch. But I mean, Zach, it's one of those things where you get into cruise control with how small of field we have coming in. Only 26 drivers took the green here tonight for the Stars and Stripes Cup Series. It took away some of the factors of a bigger field, bigger wrecks, and also just calamity in general. And we've only had one yellow flag, but plenty of drivers have had issues here, getting into the wall, getting into one another. We stay green. The battling we see here on screen is for 5th place.
Yeah, Nick Holland, who elected not to stay out long this time, he's the beneficiary of that undercut, and now he's going to be battling for what, when it cycles through, will be the 3rd position on the racetrack. And I tell you what, you know, Travis Butt, great strategy for him tonight. He needed this type of run, but so did Nick Holland. Both of these drivers looking to move themselves into the better position to the playoffs, man. And this is what they need here tonight. But for their sake, it's both of them moving up. It's going to be tough for 2 people to try to move themselves in, though.
Yeah, you do not want to be around the bubble spot in the playoffs, around that 11th, 12th position in points, as you would be bumped out currently where drivers are. So everyone's trying to gain all the positions, all the points they can. And now it's on to the rush at the end of this thing. When will Christopher Wade come into pit road? As you see, Trey Jackson right now reigning in 15th. Kind of a slower day for this 31 crew that we've seen Trey Jackson be fast at these 1.5-mile tracks, but just felt a little off. Might have been one of the drivers that just was expecting it to be a night race, a little bit more grip. But with it being so hot here tonight, the track was not working in the 31's favor.
Nah, it has not been the greatest night for Trey Jackson there, especially coming off a good run. You know, he's looking to you know, move himself into a good spot here with the points, and coming in tonight in that 10th position with 2 drivers outside of the playoffs with wins. I mean, you got to be feeling very, very, nervous if you're Trey Jackson, knowing that he is on that cut line. Good thing for him though is Dylan Grimm had a bad night, so he could possibly gain up that spot, maybe push ahead of him in that order. But still, man, that's a tough position to be in when you know that you're any race here. If you have mistakes, it could be the matter of you making the playoffs or not going into the playoffs.
Well, I mean, Dylan Grimm, yes, in front of Trey Jackson, not having a great day. And also got to be thinking as Derek Offerman and also Patrick Hasty both coming into pit road now. But Aaron Hale is not here today. Again, there were a lot of different factors here tonight. Some drivers, such as Brian Chu, did not show up because he's actually at Daytona right now watching the duels live. You've got other drivers that are racing the iRacing 500. Some are trying to do Road to Pro, and others just not able to show up here tonight for other circumstances. So a smaller field than most, and with Aaron Hale not showing up, that is also another driver that we can see Trey Jackson trying to bump himself over. Again, as we're seeing drivers trickling into pit road, still, it is that of Christopher Wade leading currently, but for how long? Because Kyle McCoy is now catching up within about a second and a half, a little bit more than a second and a half away from that of Christopher Wade.
Yeah, and it's going to be 2 laps, and he's in the lead just due to the fact he's running a whole second quicker here than Christopher Wade up front, who he's going to need that yellow flag to fly. It's going to be a tough night if this race continues to play out green and he has to come to pit road. It's going to be somewhere in the lower portion of the teens just with the amount of time he has left, and the longer he waits, the worse it's going to get. But right now, I think, as they would say, you made your bed, you got to lay in it, and that's what he's done. He's going to go to the full extent here, and if he can catch that, 20 to go caution, 15 to go caution at some point, it'll be a big smile on his face after hitting our window last week for Rockman.
Absolutely, yes. Right now, yes, we're seeing the 58 being ran out. You can just see the 7 growing bigger and bigger in that Ally 7. But for Christopher Wade, just riding along, I'm imagining once he gets past, it's going to be coming into pit road, but at the same time, could just continue to stay out for another 5 to 8 laps before fuel runs out for the 53, as here comes Kyle McCoy on the inside, and just like that, working his way and taking the lead over the 53. Even with having an extra pit stop, Kyle McCoy makes the pass for the lead for himself.
Yeah, it shows even if you were able to do the one stop, it wouldn't still be probably the race win strategy just due to how much fall off we're seeing. So yeah, Christopher Wade there dropping back quickly. Back to Travis Butt. This will be the 3rd spot right here. He's got Nick Holland along with King Campbell, Nate Lynch, Scott Rickard here, all right within this group, ready to do battling down here for a top 3 position.
All trying to figure out how to get by the 65 of George Kovacic. Kovacic running back in 18th place and just trying to get out of the way, but still fighting as hard as he can for the 65 to make sure he can hold on and continue to fight where he is. But right now, just kind of putting a little bit more of a scare on that of Nate Lynch to able to get by. And now here comes the 05, going to be the pass as leading this group in 3rd place, what could be 2nd once Wade comes into the pit road. These drivers have been on top of one another all race, Zach, and I think we both know it's from the pit stop strategy on why Kyle McCoy is so far ahead, but also I think that it could be another factor of the fact that McCoy came into pit road on that first green flag stop by himself compared to the rest of the field that came in together, so they had to slow down a little bit more and not be as aggressive on entry and exit.
Oh, that's a big factor. When you have a clear entry to pit road, it helps so much. Also, another factor is you're not running in the dirty air as much. You get out there, you get by yourself. Kyle McCoy's out here to run his own pace, keep it up together. Where as before, when you're running in the pack, you're kind of running quicker times, and you're also in that dirty air, so you get a little bit more tire wear. So getting that undercut can sometimes even help the tire wear. So we've seen Kyle McCoy use that greatly to his advantage. As we're looking right here, this is the 3rd spot battling on back with Travis Butt. They are upwards of 7 seconds back from Kyle McCoy. I mean, that just shows how much he's been on it with the strategy, and I just gotta say, raw pace too. The guy is just he's flying.
Yeah, and I think also the big thing on this time compared to that last the first green flag pit stop is Kyle McCoy was really being stopped and was being pressured by lap traffic. It was causing the 7 to lose that raw speed that he had. And now that he's been really around nobody on this stint, it's been all that of Travis Bunn and the rest of that crew trying to run down. And they are going to be about 3 seconds back from Christopher Wade, which Wade continues to wait. He's not coming into pit road just yet. But we know in these next anywhere from 2 to 3 laps, the 53 will have to come into pit road to continue to watch the battling for 5th place. And just watching right now onto the inside, Ken Campbell, even with the right side damage, willing to fight and be aggressive with Nick Holland.
Yeah, man, this is impressive to see with that right side damage. He's been able to fight this strong. I mean, we saw Scott Rickard get by him. He's driven away from Scott Rickard now, who's about a second back from this battle. And look at this, the 15 go to power to the bottom side. Ken Campbell just showing again the strength we've seen all season long. This guy, he might have won the first 3 races of the season. People say, well, you know, it was just 3 in a row. He hadn't won since then. He's been battling strongest now. Look at this. Nick Collins says, I'm not giving up, though. He made it, took it down there in 1 and 2. He's going to try to bottom down in 3 and 4. But I just don't think he's got the grip as now. No, the contact. That was so close. That could have been detrimental to both the races.
Well, it is getting close to that time when we might see a yellow as Nick Holland is going to be losing another, position because of that aggressive move. Having Nate Lynch now up to 5th. Technically it would be 4th. But Nate Lynch going to be trying to crack into the top 3 and a little bit more shuffling. There goes the 0.5 off the wall. Same for that of Nick Holland. Both drivers, I think for the 0.5 more so reacting with the 65 bouncing off the wall, but it is not over. And Zach, I threw it out there. A lot of these drivers are throwing it down. We're not saving tires. It's just be aggressive, try to run down Kyle McCoy. And with that mentality, the tire wear actually might be the worst that it's been all race long coming here at the end of the race.
Oh, there's no saving going down to the this last run to the end. As you see Christopher Wade up here, he's pulling low. I think he may be having to come down to pit road this time from that 2nd spot. But even Travis Butt, he started to pull away from that group there as now, right ahead of him, Christopher Wade from the 2nd position. He'll come to pit road here on lap 120 here to get service done on that number 53 machine. Had the win last week at Rockingham, and that's the thing about having a win. You have that in your back pocket to try strategies like this. It's not going to affect them too much tonight. They have to worry about getting knocked out at any time of point situation for those playoffs.
And we're right on board with the 25 and Nate Lynch. Having that win, you could try all the different strategies you want. It was a very unlikely strategy that was going to happen, especially because we've been clean green ever since our first yellow on lap number 2. Seeing that at Simon McNally go airborne after contact with himself of Mike Lynch and Dylan Grimm. 88's out of this race, and 33 as well of Brian Burchett going to be out of this thing. So you see the 25 just trying to run a little bit higher to try to get a run out of the corner. But there goes Patrick Hasty, fresher tires. Going to be a lap down is the 9 who's on the move.
Yeah, and this is all grouped up right around Nate Lynch, like you said, in the 15 of Ken Campbell, who are trying to run down Travis Butt, but Butt is just getting farther and farther away in their front windshield. Is now Nate Lynch. Look at this. He says, I want a top 3 finish. I'm going to battle for this. In the 25, he takes the spot from Ken Campbell. What a drive here from Nate Lynch tonight, up to the 3rd position.
And even the modified machine, the 23, Dylan Grimm, came into pit road, fresh tires, even with no front clip. I think he might also be slightly underpowered, but it doesn't matter when you got fresh tires underneath you. Dylan Grimm able to make the move and going to be also trying to make a pass here on the 25, hoping not to make any contact. And also on the high line, watch out for that 209. Travis Darts on the move.
Yeah, Travis Dart in the 209 there, 2 laps down for the first set of tires on the move for sure there, but 10 to go now. Kyle McCoy, a 6.6 second gap back to his teammate Travis Butt there for the 2nd position. I mean, what a night it's been. He had so much domination at Rockingham. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, this race is not over. We've seen him dominate there. A late race caution come out and shake up the whole perspective of the race. And I would not be surprised if that plays out again tonight. We've seen it right before they cross the finish line, getting those yellow flags. So it's not over till that white flag flies and they cross that line.
Once the white flag's in the air, gloves are off. Even if you wreck, it's all about who comes across the line and takes the win at that point. So for a lot of these drivers, they want to see that white flag happen and just finish out this race. But if a yellow comes out with 5 laps to go, we go into overtime. If a yellow comes out before that, we've got the potential of having a green-white checkered run under regulation. So these drivers are all knowing, counting down the laps, recognizing which scenario they're in. Right now, if a yellow comes out, we'll be put inside of still regulation time to have a little bit of a shootout to finish out tonight's race. But again, 5 laps to go and a yellow comes out, we will go into overtime for these drivers, and there's only 1 attempt in overtime. So you got to make sure you have the right decision if we get into that situation.
That situation is something as a driver you never want to be put in unless you're a recipient like Travis Butt or Nate Lynch here in third. You'll take advantage of those situations any days, but if you're Kyle McCoy with this giant lead, you're just trying to get back to that white flag, as they would say. And he's doing a great job right now managing his race, not doing any crazy moves out here with a 6.4 second gap. But really, the battle is going to really be for that, probably that 4th or 5th position between Ken Campbell or Nick Holland. They're getting driven away by Nate Lynch there for that 3rd spot. And Ken Campbell, even with the damage, you got to give him credit though for hanging on this strong. He hit the wall, or had a major amount of damage there from getting that hit from Andrew Medlin.
Yeah, ran into the rear bumper of Medlin. Medlin currently going to be falling back to 9th place, trying to recover from that rear end damage that he had taken, and he's doing an all right job currently. As right now we see that of Kyle McCoy, 6 laps to go. He's just got by that of Brian Lynch just a couple of laps ago, and right now the 24 kind of being a useful draft buddy with giving the help on the straightaways, but 24 helping out the best that he can. But Zach, I'm looking at the times, it has dropped just about a second between 1st and 2nd, but it's not too big of really a worry, I think, at this point. I think it's more so of just passing a lap car that made that dip so big.
Yeah, the time has been clicking away there for the gap between 1st and 2nd. But like you said, I think it's going to come down to really that 7, not only passing the lap car there of Brian Lynch there, who's in that 13th position, putting him a lap down, but also just I think he's kind of backed it off into a mode where he says, you know what, I've got such a big gap here, no reason to do anything too crazy, just got to hit my marks and run a nice smooth lap. As that time he actually goes a 10th faster. But yeah, just Kyle McCoy really hoping to see this white flag, as last week he knows at any moment this race can be stolen away from him.
4 laps to go. You see there in front of us, it's going to be the 10 of Chris Essery. That's going to be in 12th position. For most of this race being green, over half the field has gone a lap down. We'll see how many drivers are going to be left a lap down. It's coming across the line. 3 laps to go for Kyle McCoy, Travis Butt, Nate Lynch, Ken Campbell, as well as Nick Holland going to be your top 5. Scott Rickard has lost touch to the battle for 5th place, as well for Dylan Glass. Then you got Cole Sketty in 8th place, that of Andrew Medlin in 9th, and 10th, Kyle Bowling. And Bowling, I think, is probably the biggest disappointment here tonight. I was expecting a lot more from the 44, who's all the way back in 10th place, but the show here tonight is all about the 7 coming out of turn number 4, bringing us 2 laps to go.
2 more times for this number 7 machine to get it done. Looking for race win number 2. And if you would have told us at this point he's only got 2 wins in the season, you'd probably be actually a little bit surprised by that. So to get the 2nd win this late into the season, it's kind of surprising for our defending champion. But what a drive it's been tonight. He is looking to get to this white flag here soon.
All that really right now Kyle McCoy wants to see is that white flag. If we get it, we then race it to the end, and all that he's got to worry about for the 7 is a lapped car in front of him. As really, for Kyle McCoy, he was the dominator last season. This is your freaky fast white flag. The 7 was the dominator at the concrete last season. That's where he found a lot of his first couple of wins. But here this season, it is all going to be on the 7, trying to become the 4th different mile-and-a-half winner this season to get his 2nd win and putting himself on the right track, coming closer and closer to playoffs where the 7 was the most dominating. But coming out of turn number 4, Kyle McCoy, he's been passed by lap cars, but it doesn't matter. With over 4 seconds ahead of the 2nd place, your winner here at the Charlotte 200, it's Kyle McCoy.
And what a rebound from last week, having the upset of losing at Rockingham. He's going to come back here and make it a 2nd victory for the season. Kyle McCoy getting into playoff form when he needs it most. And look at that. Also a 1-2 from his team there with Travis Butt coming home 2nd and Nate Lynch bringing home 3rd. What a drive from Nate. That is a great top 3, Sam.
It really is. It's going to be awesome to talk to Nate Lynch. Kyle McCoy, you look at this season, his other win was at Pocono, got the pole there, and went coast to coast. does the same exact thing here at Charlotte, gets the pole and gets the win. Congratulations to the 7 of Kyle McCoy. A couple of other drivers going to be trickling in to join in the burnouts. But for us up in the booth, we're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Kyle McCoy, Travis Butt, and Nate Lynch in just a few. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Freaky Fast Broadcasting post-race show for the Stars and Stripes Cup Series presented by Sharp Apparel. For the Charlotte 200, we got our top three. We're going to start things off with third place finisher Nate Lynch to get his point of view of getting a top three finish. Nate, it's Sam and Zach up in the booth. Hey, you made it into the top three here tonight. You looked very strong. How does it feel getting a top three finish here tonight?
Oh, pretty good. Finally stayed out of trouble for once and kept it clean and had no cautions. Kind of got us all spread out there. And long runs, we were pretty good tonight.
Hey, Nate, it's also Zach up here, man. Congrats. Yeah, very, very good on the long runs, man. Showed a lot of speed. And, in the past here, you have a win at the Charlotte Motor Speedway here at the Stars and Stripes League. So, do you feel like, this is a place where, you feel more comfortable? Because, man, you definitely showed to have a lot of pace here, again, here tonight at a mile and a half.
Yeah, Charlotte's always been one of my better tracks. I was telling Ken that too. As like if I could just stay out of trouble, stay out front. I mean, if you get in the middle of the pack, is when you always find the trouble. It seems like so. Yeah, the race went our way tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Nate, we're now on the tail end of the regular season. You're a little bit further back than I'd imagine you want to be in points to go make the playoffs, but we got ourselves Watkins Glen, Darlington, and Gateway coming up. How are you feeling about those next three races?
We'll we'll see. Talladega will probably be my best bet at getting a win at it, but Glen, I wouldn't see myself up in the top 5 by any means. And Gateway, I don't think I own the track yet, so we'll have to buy that one.
Well, Nate, we'll see how you can try to finish off this regular season and make your really charge to make it into the playoffs potentially here. But before we let you go here tonight, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
Just thanks everybody, Randy doing race control, Derek and Brian and Mike for helping run the league, and everybody that shows up every week. We like the good participation. I think it's putting on a good show every week. And then appreciate you guys doing the calls every night.
Going to be Nate Lynch in the 25, getting a third place finish here tonight. Congratulations on that, and good luck at the Glen next week.
Thank you. Have a good one.
As now you go down to second place finisher, that of Travis Butt, and get his point of view on how tonight went. A little bit different strategy than most, but we got Travis Butt up in the booth as Travis, it's Sam and Zach up here. You finish in second. Obviously, not the position you want to be in. You want to get the wins, but after today's strategies, how are you feeling about a second place finish?
Well, the way it's been the last about 5 weeks, and felt like I'm cheerful when I make it past one lap. I'm happy with it. So Cyclone's teammate Colin McCoy, we might have the most top two finishes in the league, and about 95% of them I finish second. He finishes first, but I'm happy with it. Second place is good. Grant Green started way back in the field, and I like those all green races. I feel like I got a small advantage. I do pretty good at saving my tires, and we had Kyle and I, and Brian helped too, and he had his stuff, but we had a good strategy, and it worked out. We finished 1-2.
It definitely did, Travis. Congrats, man, on getting the second place finish here tonight. Definitely needed for those points, man. A great undercut strategy that you guys are pulling off. And were y'all kind of surprised that everybody waited so long to pit? It seemed like, the second one, they all kind of learned that, that was probably the way to go. But on that first stop, you guys, you and Kyle were the first two to hit pit road.
Yeah, since I came from 17th to the front, my stuff was a little bit more worn than anyone else's, and I knew that if I got to lap 40, I would be I was going to pit no matter what, and I only made I think lap 39, 38. So and I think Kyle had the correct strategy where he went about three or four laps later than me, and then those fresher tires just pulled away. We knew we were going to undercut, and I was kind of really shocked that people stayed out that long. And then they figured out that they couldn't get back to us. So then when we pit, they also pit with us. And I think Holland actually caught back up to us. And then he pit with us and just, he just burned up his stuff. And, this track was just hot and slick. And it was all about conservation. And I knew if I got past the first run and could get up to the top 5, I was going to be in good shape for the long run. And, I actually almost took the lead there at one point. But, I knew, if there's a long haul run, I feel like I have not a small advantage, but I feel like I do well with saving my tires.
I mean, Travis, I kind of asked a very similar question to that, Nate. You're obviously in a spot where you would like to be in the top 12 points going into these last couple of races, but we've got that of Watkins Glen, Darlington, Gateway, and finishing off the regular season at Talladega. How do you feeling about these next 4 races?
I mean, I'm better off probably putting the car in reverse and driving Watkins Glen. It actually might work out better for me. But Brian and Kyle are just awesome at road courses. So it's funny, Kyle and I just talked about, hey, we got to get you at least a top 10 at the road courses. It's just not my thing. And, it shows. So they're going to get me in position where I think I can get a top 10, and that's all I can hope for.
Well, tonight you got yourself a top 3 moving in the right direction. And before we let you go there, Travis, we're going to be seeing the floor is yours for tonight.
Yeah, thanks for you guys doing the booth. It's awesome. I shared your guys' post on Facebook, and I think I got some people looking in. So appreciate all the support there. The sports commute, they do an awesome job. I'm going to be with them here in a little bit. So we are, good little podcast. Red Customs Diecast, they came on board this year. They really helped. And so I hope I represented them pretty well, kind of a new sponsor. And then, my teammates, Kyle and Brian, if Brian had a little luck, he would easily be in the top 10 in points, and he would easily finish top 10 in the, every weekend. And it kind of stinks for him. He's kind of he just doesn't have any luck, So, hopefully the Cyclone luck changes it around. And, like I said, thanks to everyone in the Freaky Fast podcast. And, I'm trying to think of everyone. And shout out to my 6th grade class. We'll watch this tomorrow. So I hope they all did their homework, or I'm going to be pretty ticked.
We hope they did their homework as well, as that's going to be the 00 of Travis Butt getting himself a 2nd place finish here tonight. And good luck on trying to survive Watkins Glen next week.
Thank you.
As now we head ourselves to victory lane to the driver that's won multiple times last season and the season before that, our 2-time champion in this of the Stars and Stripes series. It's going to be Kyle McCoy with his 2nd win of the season here at the Charlotte 200. Kyle, you get the win, but from our perspective, kind of in a dominating fashion. How was it though for yourself out there on the track?
Hey boys, it's about time, right? Oh man, I'm excited. I was having a little bit of a flashback to Rockingham last week. It felt really similar, honestly, with the way the race shook out. And sounds like there were a couple close calls back there, but we made it to the end this time. And yeah, it was. I don't want to call it was not a walk in the park by any stretch. This car was a handful on new tires, and you really had to watch to make sure you didn't tear them up. So really, my goal was to split the pit strategy perfect. Make the most out of your tires while you had them. I was kind of slow on the end of those runs, kind of pushing hard at the beginning and not running too far to run too many laps on the old tires. And I think that's where the difference showed up. So
Yeah, we were definitely seeing that difference tonight, Kyle. Man, definitely another dominant performance. After the heartbreak last week at Rockingham, come back here to get the victory, second one of the season. I mean, it's got to feel good to have two races in a row where you're up front battling for that win, and could be looking at back-to-back wins. We got 4 weeks left before the playoffs. Do you feel like the momentum is starting to build, man? Because it seems like the 7 is really starting to figure it out here at the right time.
yeah, I mean the last 4 or 5 weeks have been definitely a pickup. I just got a new computer and I've got a lot better situation with my sim rig, let's say. So I feel like I'm starting to feel that difference and that upgrade, which is really nice. I've been waiting a long time to get that, and so yeah, I'm starting to feel comfortable, starting to feel fast, finding a little bit where maybe I can be better. And it's paying off right now. There's a lot of racing left to go. So definitely nothing is too easy. And I looked at the playoff points last week, and I've still got to make up quite a bit of ground on those guys that are leading the playoff points up there. So we'll try to pick up a couple more wins before the regular season ends, so that maybe the job isn't so tough going into the playoffs. But I feel really good about where I'm at. Last two races have been fun. These kind of low grip racetracks, you guys know it. This is my bread and butter here. So we got Watkins Glen. It's gonna be tough, and then Darlington, which I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, like the stretch I'm on, and we're gonna try to keep it up.
Absolutely. And here tonight, I mean, we like we were noting on in the broadcast, there were a couple of close calls further in the group, but you yourself also had a couple of close calls with lap cars. How was that trying to drive around lap traffic when with everyone being on such different strategies with their tires?
Yeah, that was a really interesting second run there. Steve and I were going back and forth. It was really fun, honestly. But he had about 3 lap pressure tires, so you get a good draft, and he stayed right on my tail the whole time. And eventually, I just had to let him go. And then I had draft from behind him, so you couldn't really get away from guys if you were on similar tire strategies. It didn't really matter. Like one through 30 through the field, everybody in this league does a great job. So I mean, everybody's got speed, and you gotta navigate that stuff, right? So yeah, it was interesting dealing with different tire strategies. You had to really gotta be watching your mirror. The fall off, I think the track temp was 127 degrees or something, so the fall off was insane. So yeah, you gotta watch yourself and try to stay out of trouble. That's what I kept telling Travis in the review, and we got it done tonight. Really happy about it.
That you did, getting yourself your second win this season. Congratulations on that. And here tonight, the floor is yours for any shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to my teammates, Travis and Brian. Brian had some internet issues, unfortunately, tonight. He brought good speed again. But Travis, we put another 1-2 together. We got to get him on the other end of this one of these times. But yeah, really proud of my teammates. I brought the rally scheme out tonight to hopefully turn our luck around, and we got that done tonight. So I'm happy about that. We'll keep it rolling with our team here. You guys put on great broadcasts. I love going back and watching. So thanks again for doing that. You guys are killing it as usual. And thanks to Nate for putting on the league. I'm glad to see he had a good run tonight too. He deserved it. He's been kind of having the bad luck that Travis and I have had this year. So it's nice to put those top three together. Finally shakes the monkeys off our back and should create some really good competition if we put everybody on an equal footing luck wise going forward.
Well, we're excited to see how these upcoming races are going to go, and especially with the playoffs right around the corner, who's going to take it. But for you, Kyle, you got 2 wins. You're locked into the playoffs. So we're excited to see what you're going to bring moving forward. Congratulations on your win here tonight, and have a good one moving forward.
Thanks, boys. Heck yeah.
It's going to be the 7 of Kyle McCoy getting the win here tonight again for the Charlotte 200. Zach, as we wait for the results to come up, I mean, what a race here at Charlotte.
Oh, for sure. I mean, what another great finish here at this league, man. The Stars and Stripes League, it's always something different. A lot of times we'll get those late race cautions that it shakes it up. But here tonight, it goes clean and green to the end with Kyle McCoy dominating down to the victory.
Going to be Kyle McCoy, Travis Budd, Nate Lynch going to be your top 3, with Ken Campbell, Nick Holland, as well as Scott Rickard going to be finishing out your top 6, with 7th going to Dylan Glass. Cole Sacchetti going to get a top 10 finish with that 29 machine, even with a pit road mistake, coming away with 8th place. Andrew Medlin as well, a pit road mistake, going to get 9th, with Kyle Bowling going to be coming out finishing your top 10. But Zach, we were looking at it. Christopher Wade tried a different strategy for himself. The drivers further down, Tim McNally, who's already gotten one, he's locked in, but kind of a struggle night going up and becoming a ramp for a couple of the drivers going up into the sky was that 80 machine. But Derek Offerman, also Travis Dart, those are some drivers I think we're expecting to have a little bit of more pace, and they're running out of time if they want to make sure they're in the top 12 going into the playoffs.
Yeah, time is definitely running out, man. This is go time if it ever was. You're gonna have to get a victory, possibly if you're one of those drivers late in the season, in the regular season, to get yourself into those playoff picture, man. So it's gonna be fun to see who can do it. But again, tonight, tough breaks for a few drivers, and again, Aaron Hill not being here, that's a huge hit for him. That's gonna shovel him down the board a couple spots, along with Dylan Grimm having a bad night here tonight. So. Someone like Trey Jackson, who finished in 11th, he can come out here tonight and knowing that he possibly moved up a few spots in the points also. So it's going to be close in these final 4, but man, I'm excited to see what our final 12 is. And then we'll go to battle, of course, as we seen last season. The playoffs were wild all the way down through the end.
They really were. 4 more races left in the regular season. Watkins Glen, also Darlington, Gateway, and Talladega, the wild card to finish out the regular season to see who are going to be the 12 drivers to race in the playoffs. Can't wait to get more action here. But for tonight, the win at the Charlotte 200 goes to Kyle McCoy, and the Stars and Stripes Cup Series presented by Sharp Apparel. They put on another great show. Not as much caution fest, but the strategy was there for the 7 that got him the win. Well, thanks again, Zach, for joining me in the booth. Like always, on Thursdays, my name is Sam Dyer. We are now going to be throwing it up to our production booth with Robert Moyer to finish out tonight's call.
All right. Well, thank you, Sam. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, everybody out there for tuning in here tonight at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We do much appreciate it. And like Sam said, not many yellows that we had here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but it was still good action-packed racing. As congratulations to Kyle there on getting his getting that win, and maybe he can get something going on here in the future and get on a roll a little bit. But yeah, wow. What a race. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, out there on Facebook and YouTube, and we're going to bring up our next upcoming events here for the rest of the week. As you can see, tonight was here with the Stars and Stripes at Charlotte. And then we got something special that is not on that list. But we do got something special going on tomorrow night with the MPI Cup Series. Make sure you come out at 9 o'clock as we're going to be broadcasting their dual race for them to set their grid for their Daytona 500 Sunday night. So make sure you tune in Friday night here with Brian Johnson and Zach Call. Calling all the action. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be the new next gen cars, and we'll see how that all plays out. But then you can also see Saturday night we're going to be at the NISCC Cup Series at Talladega as they get ready after that race, head into Chicagoland. But with that being said, there's nobody locked into the playoffs yet there. You got Zach here that was in the booth tonight. He's going to be battling going into Talladega. You got Brian Johnson. You got Vincent Sawyer. You got a number of drivers that are going to be just battling, just trying to battle to, either get the win or hopefully, make it into the playoffs somehow, some points, if there's not a spoiler out there. So that is our upcoming schedule of the rest of this week. So we do much appreciate that if everybody would tune in at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And the best way to not miss anything here with all the great action-packed racing that we got going on here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, on YouTube side, you can always hit that share button and share it to your friends or your favorite social media platform of your choosing. It doesn't matter. And you can also hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell button so you get all the notifications when we do go live. If you're on the Facebook side of things, all you got to do is go to Freaky Fast Broadcasting's Facebook page and hit that follow button, and it will notify you every time we go live. So there's multiple ways to not miss any of the action here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But with that being said, hopefully everybody has a great rest of their Thursday night. Again, thank you for tuning in here at Charlotte Motor Speedways with Stars and Stripes. But we will catch everybody tomorrow night with MPI Cup Series, 9 o'clock Eastern. But until then, God bless everybody. We love yous all. Peace out.